What is going on, and welcome back to the Power of Progression. I'm excited to deliver part 2 of the 2-part series of the 30 takeaways from Thrive. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that means you didn't listen to the first one, which is the first one was last week. So I gave you the first 15 takeaways from Thrive, gave you all the information of what Thrive is, the people that were there, and you know why I decided to go, everything. So if you haven't listened to that, I highly suggest go back, listen to that one from last week, so then you can jump into this one with a little bit more knowledge. But quick 60-second overview. I spent 4 days in Vegas at a Thrive Make Money Matter conference. And that's with Cole and Sonia Hatter. Amazing, amazing power couple I had on my podcast a few months back. And when I went there, I didn't know what to expect, and I was blown away. And I truly believe it's the #1 entrepreneur conference in the world. That's what I believe. And I haven't been to every single one of them. As far as all the conferences in the world, I speak at a lot of conferences, and this is probably one of the best ones, if not the best one I've ever attended. And with that being said, I'm not getting paid to go ahead and tell you that. You know, the whole point of the conference, though, is Thrive, Make Money Matter. So talking about how to create a business to make your money matter, how to give back in a way that you never give back before. And amongst all the content that was delivered and the relationships that we all built, we were able, as a group, collectively, to raise $250,000 for Dan Fleischman's his fund, and it's unreal. And it's called the Model Citizen Fund, and it helps give backpacks to the homeless with essential things that they need to live daily. And $250,000, guys, I'm not sure if you know this, that's a lot of money. And the best part about it is Dan doesn't take a dime. It's self-funded. He doesn't take a dime. It all goes to the right cause. And that is one of the hardest things to find, is a charity that is self-funded, and that all the proceeds really go to the fund. So I sat there for 3 or 4 days, and I got some of the most incredible content, met some of the most incredible people. But now I'm going to give you the first 15 was last week. I'm going to give you the second 15 right now. So the second one, we're going to start with number 16. And the first one's going to be, so number 16, I have and I own materialistic things. They don't own me. Let me repeat that. I own materialistic things. They don't own me. That goes back to a lot about what I've been talking about lately with fulfillment. I've been talking about this a lot, about outside forces versus inside forces. So if you're waiting to be fulfilled, if she loves me, I'll be fulfilled. If I buy that house, I'll be fulfilled. If I can make those millions, I'll be fulfilled. If you're waiting for those things to be fulfilled, and even if it happens, it can be stripped like that, because fulfillment from the outside can be stripped from the outside. So you got to do some deep work, some internal deep work to find fulfillment inside of you, so that you understand that you could own materialistic things, but they don't own you. Look, I like boats. I like cars. I like it all. But that doesn't determine my identity, right? That doesn't determine my success necessarily. So be okay with owning those things, but don't let yourself fall into that trap of them owning you. Okay? That's huge. Number 17, hurt people, hurt people. Oh, that's a good one. Hurt people, hurt people. I'll tell you times in my life, every time I hurt somebody physically or emotionally, I was hurt. And for some reason, the way our minds work, we want to put that hurt on somebody else. And we did it over and over again. Think about a time that you were hurt. Did you hurt people around you? Think about somebody right now that's hurting you. They're hurting. Maybe you should ask them, how can I help you not hurt anymore? Right? Another thing that Dave actually said, so that was Patrice Washington said that. Dave said, happy people don't do bad things. And he's right. You know, unless obviously intoxicated, and something, whatever, right? There's always those things where lapse of judgment, whatever. But for the most part, happy people don't do bad things. But hurt people hurt people. So if you see somebody hurting you, it's probably because they're hurt. If you're hurting somebody, it's because you're hurt. Okay? The next one, which is 18, and I have my notes right here, so I'm just pulling them up. Business will only grow to the extent you're willing to heal. And repeat that. Your business will only grow to the extent that you're willing to heal. It cannot grow any further until you're willing to heal inside. It's huge. Make sure you remember that. So you want this big business with all this money. You want all these cars. You want all this stuff. First, heal yourself. The deeper you go to heal, the higher you go and rise. Okay. The next one is 19. So commit to the journey, not the plan. I want you to commit to that journey of actually doing it. And I want you to commit with that journey to the vision of why you're doing it. But don't be committed to one plan. Nick Nanton, a good friend of mine, was on a coaching call and he was like, hey man, I'm like a boat. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I'm like a boat. I cannot change directions until I'm in motion. And I can't even change directions until I know my destination. And I'm okay with going around a different area if, it's low tide or high tide. But the thing is, I need to know my destination. I need to get in my boat, which is taking action, and then I can pivot. So be committed to the vision. Be committed to the journey. Just don't be committed to one plan. It has to be like this. It has to be like this. No. You're not going to make it. Not going to make it. Patrice Washington talked about that. Here's a good one. I think Cole was talking about this. Get cash flow, right? So get cash flow assets that then pay for your luxuries. So instead of going out and buying the boat, why don't you get some real estate and take the funds from that to buy the boat, or invest in a business and get the funds in that to buy a boat. So get a cash flow asset or assets to then pay for the luxuries that you want in life. 21. This is something I would say about can't, right? Oh, those who say they can, those who say they can't, they're both usually right. Everybody's heard it. We know that. I always say replace, can with can't. Yeah, or replace can't with can. Like, we get it. Right? We know that thing. But what I never thought of, and I positioned it this way sometimes, but never really stuck, except when Cole said it. He said, replace can't with how. And I tell all my clients, hey, if you were to do that, how would you? So I say the same thing, but for some reason, it just hit home with me on that one. Because I always say, hey, look, if you can't do it, so you think, ask yourself, how would I do it? But if it's just replacing a word, that works for me. That's easy for me, right? Versus asking a question to replace the word, man, I can't do that. No. How can I do that? Right? How can I do that? So replace the word can't with how. The next, number 22, is if it makes you money, it costs you nothing. If it makes you coin, it costs you nothing. A lot of times we go into these investments like, well, how much is it going to be? Okay, well, it's, $1,000 a month. Yeah, but if it's $1,000 a month, but in 12 months you just made $20,000, you just made $8,000 off of that investment. Is it worth it? Yeah. How much did it cost you? Nothing. Right? So if it makes you money, it costs you nothing. Number 23, you guys know I'm a big fan of energy, right? I always say energy is one of the best assets you can have. Energy creates engagement. Energy is contagious. And also energy, it's transferable. So you're trying to do business with somebody, you want somebody to do business with you, get your energy high to transfer the energy to them so they raise their energy, they get more engaged, and your conversation will probably be better. So energy is transferable. 24 is change your frequency. Right? We can only think of one thing at a time. Change your frequency. This is what Charlie Rocker was talking about, the law of attraction manifesting. He talks about, I'm on a winning streak, I'm on a losing streak. Real quick about Charlie Rocker, right? So this guy was, first thing he did was he was Soulja Boy's video guy. And Soulja Boy's video guy, and he was excited, and he's like 18 years old, and he's out there filming, and then he's supposed to go to Atlanta for Jimmy Kimmel or New York for Jimmy Kimmel, whatever it was, and they never called him. Long story short, he got fired, so he calls his mom. He's like, hey, Mom, I think I got fired. I'm going to have to come home. I'm on a losing streak. And then immediately he's like, but hold on a minute. I didn't want to be behind the camera. I'm going to manage people. I'm going to be the biggest manager of all time. I'm going to be biggest manager of all time. Man, I'm on a winning streak. Right? For those of you who are there, you know what I'm talking about. He changed his perception right away. He started going ahead and became a manager. Manager 2 Chainz, right? 350 pounds. Gets a brain tumor, sitting there, and he's unhappy. All this money, all these amazing experiences, but he's unhappy. And he realizes that he's on a losing streak. He's overweight. He's got a brain tumor. Causes his mom says, man, Mom, I don't know what it is. I got this brain tumor. I'm overweight. I'm on a losing streak. So he had to ask himself, those of you who saw, you know what I'm talking about, had to ask himself, hey, hold on a minute. Wait, what do I really want? Like, if I go back when I was a kid, what did I really want to be? Like, what was that thing I wanted? Like, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? What did I say? I wanted to be an athlete. So hold on, I'm not on a losing streak because I have this tumor and this weight problem. I'm on a winning streak because I'm about to get in shape. I'm on a winning streak because I'm about to change the shape of my body and my mind. I'm on a winning streak because I'm about to become an athlete. Not only that, I'm going to become a Nike athlete. And what did he do? He became a Nike athlete. He changed his frequency. Guys, that's the point of the story here. He changed his freaking frequency, and he did it like that. He found himself feeling like he was having a losing streak and changed his frequency. Have you ever been like, man, nothing's going right, man. If it comes in threes, hold on. That frequency that you're riding on, it's going to come in fours. It's going to come in fives. Change your frequency immediately. Self-awareness, change your frequency, and watch what happens. The next thing he talks about is number 25. Everybody here wants to break the algorithm for Facebook. Everybody wants to break the algorithm for Instagram. We're all trying to figure it out. Like, do I post it, 2 o'clock versus 4 o'clock? Do I put 5 hashtags instead of 6 hashtags? Do I put, 10 words or do I put 6 words? Like, we're all trying to break this algorithm. There's one way to break the algorithm for real. That's touching somebody's heart. Touching somebody's heart will break the algorithm. You do that enough times and stay consistent with it. Watch what happens. So I want to break the algorithm, touch somebody's heart. Number 26. Have you ever had maybe your wife, your husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it might be, like you're telling them something over and over and over again. You're like, babe, this is what you need to do. You need to do this, 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 and this. And then they're not listening. And then all of a sudden they come back and like, babe, I just got it. Like, I just talked to my friend and they said I should do this. And you're like, I've been telling you that for the whole, a year. Or how about your kids, right? You're telling your kids to do something. They're not listening. All of a sudden they come home and they're like, yeah, Miss Jones told me to do this. And I'm excited. You're like, but I've been telling you to do that the whole year. Have you ever gave somebody a message and they didn't receive it, but somebody else gave it to them and they did? Well, it's simple as this. My man Yaya talks about it. Sometimes the same message needs to be delivered by a different messenger. So don't get butthurt when your kid, your wife, your husband, your partner doesn't take the information from you. Find other sources to feed the same message, and maybe they will hear it. I think it's powerful. We sometimes need to hear the same message from a different messenger in order to get the point across. Number 27 is just give yourself permission to fail in public. See, Yaya talks about it. And he says, our imperfections create influence. But your imperfections, guys, they don't create influence if you're hiding them. If I go out and I fail right now and I don't tell anybody about it, I'm going to lower my influence. But when I come out, I'm like, hey, this is what happened. I failed. I did this. I'm imperfect in one way, shape, or another. It allows vulnerability. That transparency creates transformations. We talked about it. And it's just, you got to realize, you got to give yourself permission. Don't be so hesitant to allow people in to your imperfections. So imperfections create influence. 28. Oh, this is good. So Yaya, once again, shout out to you, brother. Talk about alive. Yaya, he says he's corny and he remembers things when you use acronyms. Bro, raise my hand. I'm the same exact way. So alive stands for, write this down if you haven't already, authentic, likable, influential, vulnerable, and empathetic. So when you look at alive and say, oh, I want to feel alive. I want to feel alive. It's authentic, likable, influential, vulnerable, and empathetic. Number 29, taking one from Frisella here, Mr. Andy Frisella. You want all this stuff in your life, guys. You want all these things. Making money is shit. Make money. Change the world. Change your family's legacy. But it won't happen unless you work inside. It's inside out. What I say all the time is this, guys. It's an inside job to create the life that you want. It's an inside job. So when Andy was talking about it, it's so real. Like, this guy owns a $300 million company. You think he knows a thing or two? Yeah. So take that advice and learn how to work inside in order to work outside. So work on yourself first. That has to be number one. Has to be. And then last but not least, number 30. Number 30, you guys ready? It's simple. Make money matters for one thing. You had to get back to entrepreneurs and everything else, but it's make money matter, right? That's Thrive's mission. I want you to figure out if you have an opportunity for a for-purpose business. Do you have an opportunity to take a part of your proceeds and give it to a certain charity, or possibly take your product and give it to people in need of it? Once one person buys one, you give it to somebody else that's in need of it. What does it look like if you were to have a for-purpose business? So your homework assignment is this. I want you to write down all the things you could do to create a for-purpose business or implement it into your current business. And whether it's a small portion or a big portion, let's start now. Let's start now making our money matter. Because, look, we could all give a little. We could all give a little. I don't care who you are. You could give a little bit more. And not only that, we want to change the future for our kids, and we're not willing to give back to the communities. We're not willing to give back to people in need of it. It's never going to change. If it ain't going to change with you, it's not going to happen. We got to keep this movement going and create for-purpose businesses. And I truly think that in several years from now, there's going to be so many more for-purpose businesses and less regular, for-profit businesses, that then you're going to try to start getting into it, and it may be diluted and maybe harder to get into. And you're going to miss the boat on it. You get to make more money, give more money, create a bigger impact. Like, why would you not do it? Because there's a little bit of legwork in the beginning. So write down all the things you could do and then go research each and every single one. Remember, like, you can ask people. Like, there's so many people part of the Thrive community. Reach out to some of us. Hey, how do I do it? What are you doing? Oh, I don't know, man, but ask this guy. Oh, I don't know, man, but ask this guy. Like, find an answer. It's not about how many resources you have, though. It's about your resourcefulness. And that means asking for resources, right? It's not about, getting excited here, hitting the microphone. It's not about your resources. It's about how resourceful you truly are. Those will create resources. Find a way to create a for-purpose business, change the legacy of your family along the way. Look, it's impact first, income second. Please make sure you remember that. It took me almost dying to even realize that. And sometimes it takes a little punch in the gut to remember it. I'm changing my business to a for-purpose business. I want you to come along for the ride and join. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I hope you found some value in today's episode. Please, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit the little dinger over there, that little bell button, and go ahead and subscribe to it. Write some comments in there. Let's chat. If you're listening to this on iTunes or whatever it might be, please subscribe to this if you haven't already, because I drop episodes every week. Would love to be a part of your journey and drop some knowledge on you to then have wisdom so you can take action on it. And then go ahead and share this thing out. It's the last thing I ask. Share this thing out. Let's go ahead and add more value. And the last thing I would say is go get your Thrive ticket. Go get your Thrive ticket. You will not be disappointed. And you get into a good family over there at Thrive. So I'm excited to now be a part of Thrive and continue my relationship with them and hopefully be continually adding value to everybody who's a part of Thrive. And just make sure that, like, if you have questions, if you're in this little journey to your destination, remember that you can stop and ask questions. It's okay. Don't try to do this on, all on your own. But make sure you guys please share this out, subscribe, do your thing. Please, if you have any questions, if you're looking to go ahead and up-level your life and you want to talk to me about how I can help you do that in all the equities, or looking for a speaker, whatever it might be, reach on out. Let's talk. Let's make sure it's a good fit. But until then, just take the information, create some kind of implementation, and keep creating the ultimate version of you. See you guys soon.